Hello friends, welcome back to MMS Makes Medicine Simple. Hope you are doing good. So today in this video, we are going to discuss one of the most important topic of neurophysiology. What is that? That is fluids in our brain. So basically we are going to discuss about CSF, cerebral blood flow, and lastly triple B, the blood-brain barriers. So let's discuss one by one. So basically we can classify the fluids which are present in our brain into two types. The first fluid system, which is exclusively for the lubrication. It confers an important function, and that is protection to our brain. It gives cushioning effect and protection to our brain. So what is that fluid system, sir? So this fluid system is our cerebrospinal fluid, CSF. So the first fluid system gives lubrication and protection to our brain. Now the second fluid system. This second fluid system is also exclusively for the nutrition. It gives oxygen and take out CO2, carbon dioxide. So the second fluid system which gives nutrition to our brain, it gives oxygen and take out the carbon dioxide. This fluid system is the blood flow to our brain. This is cerebral blood flow, CBF. So we can classify the fluids in our brain into two types. The first one is cerebrospinal fluid, CSF, which gives lubrication and protection to our brain, and the second fluid system which is our cerebral blood flow, which gives nutrition to our brain. So with this important note, so let's discuss the first fluid system, and that is our cerebrospinal fluid, CSF. In CSF we need to memorize certain numbers. This fluid system is full of MCQs which you can encounter in your exams. So let's see the first question. What is the normal value of CSF? So the answer is the normal volume of CSF is 150 ml. Now the second question. What is the rate of production of CSF? So the rate of production of CSF is 550 ml per day. How, sir? The normal volume is just 150 ml and the rate of production of CSF is 550 ml per day. How this is possible? So this is possible because this CSF recycles 3.7 times in a day. Though the rate of production of CSF is 550 ml per day, but it recycles 3.7 times in a day. That's why the normal volume is 150 ml. Right? Now, the third question. What is the normal CSF pressure? So, the normal CSF pressure is 70 to 180 millimeter of water. Now, the fourth question. What is the site of production of CSF? So, the site of production of CSF is choroid plexus. Very important. Now, the fifth question. What is the site of absorption of CSF, sir? So, see here something very important. Arachnoid villi is the site of absorption. I am putting stars here. Why? Let's see. In one normal individual, the regulation of CSF occurs at the level of absorption only, right? Not at the site of production, that is choroid plexus. The regulation of CSF in one healthy normal individual takes place only at the site of absorption, and that is arachnoid villi. Now with this important note, so now see here, this table is very important. Here we are going to discuss about the constituents of CSF. So this CSF, the cerebrospinal fluid, got a number of constituents, right? Very important. So definitely your examiner will ask the constituents of CSF in comparison with plasma, right? So here we are going to see the constituents of CSF which are more in concentration than plasma, the constituents which are equal in concentration and less in concentration. So first we will see the constituents of CSF which are more in CSF than plasma. So see here, our CSF has more chloride than plasma, 113, whereas just 99 in plasma. The second constituent is magnesium. Our CSF has more magnesium than plasma. The third one is PCO2. Our CSF has more PCO2 than plasma. So our CSF has more chloride, magnesium and PCO2 than plasma. Now second, now we will see the constituents of CSF which are equal in concentration with plasma. What are those, sir? See here, osmolality and bicarbonate. Our CSF has equal concentration of bicarbonate ions and osmolality with plasma. Now the third, now we will see the constituents of CSF which are less in concentration with plasma. What are those, sir? See here, our CSF has less glucose, proteins, potassium and calcium than plasma. Now, how to memorize this? See here, the trick to memorize the constituents which are high in concentration in CSF than plasma is PCM. Remember paracetamol, PCM? So P, C and M. So our CSF has more PCM, means more PCO2, chloride and magnesium. Now the second mnemonic, see here. Remember the two sisters in second year? General pathology and clinical pathology, right? GP, CP. So the mnemonic for the constituents which are less in CSF than plasma is GPCP. If you can memorize the constituents which are more and less in concentration with plasma, what is left? The only constituents which are equal in concentration. See, very simple. Now see, sir, the pH. So the pH of CSF is 7.33 and plasma 7.4. Now something very important from pathologic point of view. See here, there is one substance which is present only in CSF. What is that, sir? So this is our beta transferrin. This beta transferrin, beta 2 transferrin is only present in CSF, not in plasma. So with this important note, so now see here, this is just the summary what we have already discussed in our previous slide. So this is very important. Compared to plasma, CSF has higher concentration of chloride, magnesium and PCO2. Remember the PCM, right? Now it has equal concentration of bicarbonate ions and osmolality. Now the third one, compared to plasma, CSF has low concentration of glucose, potassium, protein and calcium. Remember the GP and CP, these two sisters, right? Now something very important. This substance beta 2 transferrin, this substance is present only in CSF, not in plasma. So from pathology point of view, this substance is very important. How, sir? Because if any fluid is positive for this beta 2 transferrin, that is CSF. So this beta 2 transferrin used as a CSF marker to diagnose CSF rhinorrhea and CSF otorrhea. So our CSF has higher concentration of chloride, magnesium, PCO2, PCM, low concentration of GPCP, glucose, proteins, potassium and calcium, and equal concentration of osmolality and bicarbonate ions. This very important substance, beta 2 transferrin, present only in CSF and used as a CSF marker in the diagnosis of CSF rhinorrhea and CSF otorrhea. With this important note, so after CSF we are going to discuss the second important fluid system of our brain, and that is cerebral blood flow, CBF. The primary function of this fluid system is nutrition, oxygen supply to brain. So this fluid system is also full of MCQs. Very important. See here, the first question is, what is the source of cerebral blood flow? So the source of cerebral blood flow is circle of Willis. Circle of Willis is the source of cerebral blood flow, CBF. Now the second question, what is the normal cerebral blood flow? So the normal cerebral blood flow is 750 ml per minute or 55 ml per 100 gram of brain tissue per minute. So the normal cerebral blood flow is 750 ml per minute, or in other words 55 ml per 100 gram of brain tissue per minute, which is half of the liver blood flow. The liver blood flow is 1500 ml. So the normal cerebral blood flow is 750 ml per minute, which is half of the liver blood flow, right? So after liver, our brain is also one of the most important vital organ. Now see sir, the third question. In our brain, the gray matter receives more blood supply than white matter. In brain, gray matter receives more blood supply than white matter. Now the fourth question. What is the oxygen consumption of brain? So the oxygen consumption by brain is 46 ml per minute, which is 20% of total body oxygen consumption. See here, this is something very important, right? The oxygen consumption by brain is 46 ml per minute, which is 20% of the total body oxygen consumption. That's why our brain is highly sensitive to hypoxia, right? So if our brain is highly sensitive to hypoxia, which region of the brain is most sensitive for hypoxia? So hippocampus. This hippocampus is the most sensitive part of our brain, sensitive for hypoxia, right? Which is concerned with the learning and memory. So with this important note, so now we are going to talk about regulation of cerebral blood flow. What are the factors which can affect blood supply to brain, which can affect the cerebral blood flow? So see here, the first concept, blood pressure. When the BP fluctuates between the range of 65 to 140 millimeter of mercury, there is no change in cerebral blood flow. Though the perfusion pressure is changing 65 to 140 millimeter of mercury, even in this range, there is no change in cerebral blood flow. And this phenomenon, that on the change of perfusion pressure, the cerebral blood flow is still constant, this phenomenon is known as autoregulation. Very important. Now second, PCO2. Increase in partial pressure of carbon dioxide leads to increase in cerebral blood flow. Whenever there is increase in partial pressure of carbon dioxide, the cerebral blood flow will increase. Now the third one, very important, temperature. When the body temperature decreases by 1 degree Celsius, the cerebral blood flow also decreases by 7%, right? When the body temperature decreases by 1 degree Celsius, the cerebral blood flow also decreases by 7%. This is also very important from surgical point of view. How sir? See here, since there is decrease in cerebral blood flow by 7% on each 1 degree Celsius decrease in the body temperature, therefore hypothermia is induced in certain neurosurgical procedures to minimize the blood loss, right? So by decreasing the body temperature, we can minimize the blood loss in certain neurosurgical procedures. So with this important note, so the third point that we are going to discuss now is very important. What is that, sir? So from blood, substances can enter into brain tissues, but not all substances. If they want to enter brain tissues, they need to cross certain barriers known as BBB, right? The blood-brain barrier. Now, what form this BBB, blood-brain barrier? So see here, very important. This is one typical blood vessel. And blood vessel in brain, they have certain important cells. So these blood vessels are lined with those important cells. See here. And these cells are interconnected with certain junctions. What are those junctions, sir? Those junctions are tight junctions. So the first component that form BBB, blood-brain barrier, is tight junctions. Now these tight junctions further reinforced by some very important cells present in our brain. One star-shaped cell known as astrocytes. So the first component that form the blood-brain barriers is tight junctions, and which is reinforced further by the foot process of astrocytes. So put together tight junction and food processes of astrocytes, they form the blood-brain barriers. Now, what are the substances that can cross blood-brain barriers? So see here, all these substances which are lipid soluble. The lipid soluble substances like steroid hormones can cross the BBB. Second, some important gases like oxygen, CO2 and nitrogen. Important gases like oxygen, CO2, carbon dioxide and nitrogen can cross the BBB. Now the third, very important, our glucose, with the help of this very important transporter, GLUT1, glucose transporter, our glucose can cross BBB. And lastly, very important, water can also cross the BBB by using this very important protein channel, aquaporin 4. So, the substances that can cross the BBB are lipid soluble steroids, important gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide and nitrogen, glucose and water. Now second, what are the substances that cannot cross the BBB? So all the substances which are water soluble like protein hormones. Second, the hydrogen ions. Third, the dopamine. So tight junctions and food processes of astrocytes, they form the blood-brain barriers, and the substances that can cross the BBB are the lipid soluble steroid hormones, certain gases like oxygen, CO2 and nitrogen, glucose and water. The substances that cannot cross the BBB are water soluble protein hormones, hydrogen ions and dopamine. Very important. That's why in the treatment of Parkinson's, on place of dopamine we use L-Dopa, because dopamine cannot cross the BBB. So with this important note, so now we are going to talk about those areas where this BBB is absent. So areas where BBB is absent are called circumventricular organs. Circumventricular organs are the areas where BBB is absent. So the mnemonic to memorize all the circumventricular organs is SOAP, SOAP. So here S stands for subpharyngeal organ, O stands for organum vasculosum of lamina terminalis, that is OVLT. A stands for area postrema, where the peripheral chemicals act and induce vomiting. And last P stands for posterior pituitary. Right? So the mnemonic to memorize all the circumventricular organs is SOAP, the subpharyngeal organ, OVLT, area postrema and posterior pituitary. Very important. Now see here, this principle is very important. Till the time we have discussed that in brain we have CSF, blood and brain tissues. These three components, right? So according to this principle, at any point of time, the volume of CSF, blood and brain tissues should be constant. Very important. If there is any change in one of the parameters, the other two will be compressed. According to this principle, at any point of time, the volume of CSF, blood and brain tissues should be constant. If there is a change in any of the parameter, the other two will be compressed. See here, if there is increase in CSF pressure, it will compress the brain tissues and blood flow. Very important. So this principle, that even in the change in one parameter, it will compress the two remaining parameters. This principle is known as Monro-Kelly doctrine. According to Monro-Kelly doctrine, if there is a change in one of the parameter, right, the other two will be compressed. Like there is CSF is increased, right? The CSF pressure is increased, it will compress the brain tissues and blood flow. So with this important note, so thank you so much for listening, and please don't forget to subscribe the channel if you like my work, and also give your important feedback in the comment section. Stay safe, stay happy, study a lot. Thank you so much guys.